Chapter 787. Michael was waiting for them outside the villa. When he saw the old lady coming out of the villa with his son and daughter, he hurried forward and asked immediately, "Mom, did you get the money from them?" Lady Richard had a very black face as she said, "Yes." "Let's go." When he saw that Lady Richard seemed to be very angry, Michael hurriedly grabbed Harold before he asked in a low voice, "What happened? Why is your grandmother so angry?" Harold waited for his younger sister and grandmother to walk a little further away before he whispered, "Dad, Grandma is really the worst." "Why are you talking about your grandma that way?" Michael could not help but reprimand his son at this time. "We're all depending on your grandmother now. How could you say that about her? What's going to happen if she hears you?" Harold replied angrily, "Dad, do you know what Grandma said to second uncle? She told him that she would be willing to give him the sofa set for free as long as he was willing to give her a room in their villa so she could come over and live with them instead." Fortunately, the second uncle ignored her request and Elaine even scolded her. "What?" The expression on Trump's face changed as soon as he heard Howard's words. Great! His mother was simply amazing. Before this incident, she had always despised and looked down on his brother's family. Moreover, she was the one who had driven them out of the Richard family villa. Now that the Richard family was falling apart and since his younger brother was moving into the huge and luxurious villa, she wanted to turn her back on him and his family. All that she thought of was simply to move into the huge and luxurious villa. She did not even bother to think about his family at all. His slut of a wife has already run away with all of their money and the family of three did not have any sources of income at all. They could only rely on the old lady to sell the antiques off so that they could pull through these difficult times. At a time like this, the old lady was actually thinking of abandoning his family so that she could live happily on her own. Michael could not help but feel a little angry as he thought about this. However, even though he was a little angry, he could only whisper to Harold, "We have to find a way to take the antiques left behind by your grandfather away from your grandma. This is the only way that we'll be able to save ourselves." Harold hurriedly said, "Grandma has always been very reluctant to tell us anything about it. I've been asking her about those antiques but she has never given me a direct answer before. That old woman is really incredible." Michael simply replied coldly, "Take your time and be patient. Make sure that you keep a close eye on your grandma in the next 2 days. Make sure that you follow her closely except for when she is using the toilet." "Yes, I will." After the Richard family left, Elaine could only laugh triumphantly in their new villa. Even though she really hated Trump for using Nat Arias' birthday as the password to unlock his cell phone and because he would rather spend all his money than to give anything to her at all. She was also very satisfied that she was able to scold the old lady today. She felt as though she had finally gotten rid of 2 decades worth of grievances and she was extremely happy at this time. What was even happier was the fact that they were finally moving into this villa. It was such a huge and luxurious villa and she would never have dreamed of moving into this kind of luxurious home in the past. However, she was living this life right now. The sofa set was already ready in the living room and the people from the furniture shop would be sending all of their other furniture and home appliances to the villa later in the afternoon. At that time, they would be able to officially move into the villa. Elaine was very excited and she quickly told Emma, "Your dad and I will move into the biggest bedroom on the 3rd floor." Emma nodded before she said, "Okay then. Both of you can live on the 3rd floor and Alex and I will live on the 2nd floor." After that, Emma continued speaking, "By the way, Mom, I promised Mia that I will give her a room in this villa after we move in. Mia has already been living in a hotel in Oris Hill all by herself for a very long time. I think that she is very lonely and pitiful." Elaine hurriedly asked, "Are you talking about the Mia from the Stewart family in Westcliff?" "Yes," Emma replied, "that's her." Elaine smiled before she said, "Okay. The Stewart family is very wealthy and powerful and they can easily be comparable to the Adair family. It's good for you to maintain a close relationship with her. I think that it'll be of great use to us in the future." After that, Elaine hurried over to the elevator before she said, "I'll go up to the 3rd floor to see how I should arrange my bedroom." At this time, Alex said to Emma, "Should we also head up to the 2nd floor to take a look, then?" Emma nodded slightly before she walked up the stairs together with Alex as they headed to the 2nd floor. Chapter 7